The lush plains and foothills of New England were once hideouts for some of our most daring outlaws. These days, the city of Tamworth is tucked away in those same foothills. A town large by country standards, but always ready with a warm country welcome. You're always reminded that this is a country town by the music they play and their annual Country Music Festival. Tamworth is justifiably proud of its title, Country Music Capital of Australia. And the giant golden guitar monument pays tribute to all the country entertainers who've come here. But today, entertainers of a different kind are in Tamworth. Knights in shining armour to their young fans. And those veteran DC3s are working overtime to transport million-dollar livestock from Cronulla, including the King of the Kids and the off-field generals. The big men from North Sydney are here too, with a new man at the helm. And speaking of new men, few have received the publicity that Graham Lowe has. And Manly's new manager-coach tonight gets his first look at his charges. So Tamworth, with its hee-haws and do-si-dos and fanatical football support, plays host to another round of Rugby League's Channel 10 Challenge.
Hello, I'm Rex Mossop. Welcome to our Channel 10 Challenge tonight, coming live from Tamworth, the Country Music Centre of Australia. In the opening match of the knockout series here at Tamworth, we've got round one clash between North Sydney and Manly Warringah, and that'll be followed by Newcastle and Cronulla to complete the double header. Now, we've already visited the towns of Toowoomba and Port Macquarie in our travels, with the largest cross-country rugby league campaign ever staged, and this competition, though it has taken on a new early season format, is now in its 17th season. Now, it's knockout rugby league at its very, very best.
Yes, Rex, knockout football is not only the way to describe the competition, it's also a pretty good way to sum up the way that the competition's gone so far. Knockout football, absolutely unbelievable. Drama, upsets, you name it. And this Manly and North's clash tonight should be absolutely no different. They're always hard and tough. Now, North Sydney tonight have several players in their lineup from their premiership-winning reserve grade side of last year. The side, Conlon, Bosted, French, Florimo, Thompson, Fulliger, Soden is the halfback. Young Billy Moore at lock forward. I like this young fella. Smith, Toole, Alexander, Ray, and Takata is the other prop. And the coach for North Sydney, a new coach for them, Steve Martin from the reserve grade, and Graham, a new coach for North, a new coach for Manly.
Yeah, a new one for Manly, a man on the hot seat, Graham Lowe, but what a great performer he's been over in England with Wigan. They've won just about everything in the English competition, and he is very keen in 1990 to erase the memory of 89 by giving a lot of local, new and young faces a chance in this match tonight. He's keen about the fullback, Frank Stokes. Their three-quarters, Tony Iro, the New Zealand international, great performer for the Wigan club. Ronson, O'Connor's got the captaincy in 90. Townsend, Lyons, Hasler, the forwards, Cunningham, Jones, White, Bourne, Cochrane, and Martin Bella looking for a big one against Norths.
Well, Tamworth's no different to Toowoomba or Port Macquarie. We've got another sellout crowd. Now, as the teams get ready to greet their fans, we'll take a break and then be back for the start of our first match this evening between North Sydney and Manly, live from Tamworth.
New coach. New coach Graham Lowe for Manly as well. And Mick O'Connor, new captain for Manly this year. A lot of reputations at stake in the Manly side. And it's going to be one heck of a clash. And they get a pretty warm reception, the Manly side. Martin Bella in a Manly uniform.
Indeed, I think Martin Bella will probably be a target for some pretty heavy defence. Players that join other clubs and play against their old clubs usually get a little bit more than, strangely, they get a little bit more than usual. But there's much talent in these two sides. I have a great deal of admiration for young Mark Soden, the little halfback in this North Sydney side. He's a very, very good player. Very quick off the mark, very alert. I saw him score some splendid tries last year in the semi-final and final series. He was electrifying. But of course there are, I believe, 6 of last year's reserve grade premiers have come up and been given an opportunity by Steve Martin. So that augurs well for North Sydney. Manly.
2 new skippers with the toss. And I mentioned this magnificent surface. This really is one of the best grounds, sporting fields I've seen anywhere in the country.
There's quite a fall on it from our side to the other side. Quite a fall, I would think. I was talking to the groundsman today and he was talking about a 2-foot fall over the 70 yards that we see.
The surface does look sensational, though, doesn't it? It really does.
Absolutely beautiful. Look as they could play lawn bowls on it. But just look how far the players' boots dig into the game when we get the opportunity.
North Sydney and Manly. Magnificent twilight at Tamworth. And North's, is the 90s going to be any different? The last number of years for them. We're underway through Conlon. Manly with plenty of new faces. Not this man, Cunningham, plenty of first-grade experience. Tony Iro, all the way from the Wigan club in England. The big kick downfield sends Conlon way back. Plenty of chases for Manly. Great tackle. Very solid tackle from Bourne. Storming in Manly. Bella over the top, keen for a big one. Gary Smith, there are some 7 or 8 members of the Premiership winning reserve grade outfit in this Bears side. O'Connor took it well running back and stepped inside. Iro, one of the biggest wingers you will see. Bella, where's the reception from his former teammates? Bourne. The Bears show that their head-on defence is just as strong. Hasler, Lyons, run around. Cunningham. Cochran. Solid kick inside the quarter. Tidy start from the Sea Eagles.
Yes, a good strong kick from Cochran.
Soden working the scrum for the Bears. Fulliger and Soden and French. Cutter. Inside for Soden. Now they're inside the Manly quarter. Carter again. Fulliger. Now some North players offside in front of the kicker. And Manly come up with the penalty.
Iro stood his ground very competently. Then it took the football, but he didn't appear to be under any great tackling pressure.
Stokes sends that ball way out. And new coach Graham Lowe. I wonder how the butterflies are.
Yes, he's living it with the footballers.
Well, here's Stokes kicking on the first tackle. Sending Conlon back towards his own goal line. 3 defenders there for him. They all had a share in putting him down.
White getting through some good tackling too, the young Brisbane player. Number 11 on the Manly side.
Bella's getting involved in the defensive work as well. You saw him that tackle. Here's Ty Carter. Right on the quarter. For Soden. After this, I'll run away from Iro, picked up by Stokes. This is White. Just about on the halfway mark. No score in this game. And Bourne. Lions. Back for Hasler. Beat one, Hasler. Looks for support, but it's gone astray. Billy Morse picked it up for North Sydney. Soden. Now Fulliger.
Upended.
And the Bears come up with a penalty. Steve Martin in unorthodox position to watch the football game.
Yes, wanted to get a bit of elevation to look down on it as a plan. I'm a bit bewildered by coaches that sit on the ground and watch the football. I don't think they can possibly see everything they need to see.
Now Conlon finds touch, 32 out from the Manly line. Leichhardt has been involved quite a bit in the opening stanza here. Barry Smith just outside the quarter. Soden. On for Adrian Toole. Tony Ray. And the Bears get another penalty. Manly up inside the 5. So first opportunity for points on the board.
Bostead makes his first decision. He was a very good servant to the Manly club during the period he played, and scored some splendid tries. Now in the declining years of his career, he's been honoured with the captaincy of North Sydney in this match, and perhaps with the season. One doesn't know that.
Now this has been brought back to the quarter line, to the junction of the quarter line on the 10-metre mark. And Conlon an opportunity to put his side in front. Plenty of height, plenty of direction. The Bears lead in the early stages of this match. North Sydney 2 and Manly 0.
Yeah, Thompson didn't want to make the error with this one. It was rolling always towards the sideline. He could have tried, always the risk with that one, and he didn't want to give Manly the feed into a scrum deep in their quarter.
Conlon showed the ball, tried to get a miracle pass away in a very dangerous area. And he was lucky that they were able to recover through Florimo. Gary Smith. Alexander. Smith again. Big tackle from Bella. Soden steps Bella, gets his kick in, but once more straight to Stokes. He beats Florimo well. Ronson's got back there to go to dummy half. Townsend chased by his opposite and wrapped up. John Jones. Bella. This time he unloads for Lions. Ball back infield for O'Connor. Quickly for Bourne. He's got support. Inside the 5, he had allowed an advantage. Bella back for Hasler. Cunningham. Iro was coming deep. He had to hesitate for a moment, and that forced everybody to overrun things.
Well, there's the pass. It went marginally forward, but the referee was spot on, and a right decision there.
Soden. Gary Larson is out there in 17 with the ball now in his first touch. New change rule applying to the 4 replacements any number of times throughout the game. Ronson. Thank you very much, he says. Hasler away for Lyons. Forced back amongst the forwards. They just wrap him up. Bella. Good run. 5-1 the scrums to the Bears. The penalties are 2-all. As Hasler just about got through, but he had the ball stolen.
Yeah, I thought he was through himself, but he was. He didn't have the football. He left that behind. And there's the new president of North Sydney, David Hill. 30 metres out from the North Sydney line. A bumping run from Adrian Toole.
He's a fairly strong player and getting bigger.
And there's the siren to end the first quarter, but the ball not dead yet. As Conlon is forced down, and he comes to an end of the first quarter with the North Sydney Bears leading Manly 2 points to 0. French showing some enthusiasm in defence. Here's this Tony Iro again, but the ball sails over his head. He is a big, as you can see, certainly plenty of him.
Well, I fail to say that it was a bad pass. I think it was a high pass that a player should have taken. He was in the clear if he took it. And probably up here somewhere, 70 yards downfield.
Fairley will play it. Larson only a few metres away from the Manly line. Tony Ray links up with Conlon, and in they go, the Bears.
So what's changed since last year?
Well, they worked hard at it, the North Sydney side, and come up with a try.
They worked very well. There's no question about it. I'm not critical of the North Sydney side. I'm critical of the Manly defence in that situation. It was appalling. Now, say it any way you want to. Conlon had no one to beat. There was nobody really made an attempt to tackle him. And it must be a bit sickening for Manly fans and their multitudes who are watching this game to see a try like that scored against their team.
And he's kicked it. No problems at all for Conlon and for North Sydney. They lead Manly by 8 points to 0.
Billy Moore looks for Soden. Where's Ryan? Not there this time. Touched. This time taken over the head of Tony Iro. And great run from him, stepping through tackles. Lyons. Short ball for Ronson. Steps inside. Conlon. Townsend. Manly coming back strongly. Tuvey. Lyons. No Shepherdson. Armand. Cochrane. He's got plenty of support. It was off a North Sydney player. That's play on at this stage, but the Bears do well to recover it. Billy Moore away for Alexander. Tony Ray. On the last. Soden. Down for O'Connor, who's dropped back out wide.
Well, with their chases, they're certainly using downtown very, very much, North Sydney.
Iro. Hold your breath. That's what the case has been nearly every time he's touched the ball.
Yes, he got a name as the juggler after that one. That was a marvellous effort to pick up the ball after first juggling it.
Well, Jeff Tuvey to his feet. Greenaway. Just about 5 minutes to go in this second quarter. Glenn Bourne. Greg Florimo was back out there, and Conlon has come off. Cochrane. Sights again. Steps. Hasler. Taken beautifully low by Soden. Penalty to Manly. Will really pile on the pressure inside this last 5.
O'Connor's going to take the shot for goal. But with just under 5 minutes to go to half-time, this solid body contact is still continuing.
Yes, all the players that I've seen in all the matches are very far advanced in condition. There's little doubt about that. They have been training for months, many of them, and hard training too.
Well, we have word of the attendance. 10,174 people here at Scully Park, Tamworth. They've packed in to see this game of football, and they all see Michael O'Connor push it to the side. So the North Sydney Bears hang on to this lead, 8 points to 0. It really is a wonderful crowd.
Well, when you consider what there are 33,000 people in Tamworth, is that the right figure?
It's about 1/3 of the population.
It's about 1/3 of the population.
Now Florimo sends this down to Iro. Can't take it cleanly again. And the big man and the little man come together. Here's Tuvey. The run around. Again, the ball loose. Ryan was able to hang on to it. Stokes. Grabbing his opportunity with the exodus of Dale Shearer.
Many in the Manly club think that Stokes is a potential Graham Eadie type of fullback, and they've got great hopes for him. He's only a youngster, very solidly built, as you can see. He's from the Aboriginal race, and he's a splendid player. Bit of shepherding there.
Yes, Cunningham allowed to get away with it. Takes play over the halfway mark. Kick and chase from O'Connor. MacArthur can't get to it, but fortunately for him, young Soden did. He's handled it pretty well, young Soden.
Yes, he's got a lot of talent. He's a very, very good player. Fundamentals are good.
Another young man that I think has a lot of ability, playing lock forward tonight, Billy Moore.
Moore's not without talent, yes. He did very well for the reserve grade side last year. And played some first grade.
And very young is Soden.
Age doesn't really have a great deal to do with it, I don't think, if you've got the ability. 16 or 17 or even 18.
The point I was getting to is that he'll fill out an awful lot here.
Oh, yeah.
Because he's quite slight to mix it with the big boys.
Yes, a little bit of beef on does help.
Lyons. Fuller getting a piggyback with him. Now Tuvey, there's a punch on him back play.
Now O'Connor's done nothing in that little fracas.
We'll come back to that as Hasler's taken over the touchline. But it was Kevin Thompson for North Sydney and Michael O'Connor.
O'Connor, I believe, did nothing in that fracas. We'll see it again on the replay. I don't want to appear as though I'm biased in this aspect of it. The pass comes back on the inside. It's taken by Hasler. We're not seeing the incident, but that's the end of play in that particular situation. But I would have thought that Thompson might have been sin bin for that belting him. Here it is. Let's have a look. Lyons, now there he is. He's held by the jersey. Gives him one. Well, I think held by the jersey, a penalty, and I did think that perhaps 5 minutes in the sin bin might have been a good one. I'll catch this.
No, you won't.
Came straight towards us.
Half-time siren sounding. They'll have to continue with this play. 2 footballs on the ground, but Cochrane's decided to kick the right one. And young Soden takes it over the touchline. So the half-time score here at Tamworth, 8-0. The Bears have Manly at the moment. Back live in just a moment.
Welcome back live to Tamworth. The Bears doing it well at half-time. 8-0 they lead, and of course that's put a very big smile on their new president of the Bears, David Hill. Welcome to Tamworth. Nice to see you.
It's good to be here. 8-0 ahead at half-time.
What has been the problem with the Bears all these years? How are you going to rectify it?
I've never been able to put my finger on it. but this year we've got a very good squad of players, and they're showing great character tonight. It's a very young squad, probably the youngest in the league. A great coaching team led by Steve Martin, and I think a very good young board, probably the youngest players, the youngest coaching staff and the youngest board. And provided they keep this sort of character up, then we should do all right this year.
Well, you've certainly, as we take a look at them here at half-time, and Steve Martin, you've relied very heavily on that great reserve grade win from last year.
Not totally. We've...
Now here's Miller with a little double